Hello students, all of you are aware that SBI has announced a huge number of posts, 13,735 plus about 600 backlog. So the total comes to about 14,400 plus. Keeping this notification in mind, we have come out with another short video where we will be talking about the syllabus of the reasoning section of the SBI Clerk exam. We will talk about prelim as well as the main section in today's video of the reasoning section of the SBI Clerk exam. We will also be uploading videos on numerical ability, syllabus and topic wise split and analysis of previous exams, English language, the syllabus of SBI Clerk and analysis of previous exams. So a series of 6 to 7 videos will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, starting with today's video. So please do subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not yet done, so that you can get notifications of all the videos that we upload on our channel. So today's session is about, as you can see on the board, the reasoning ability section of the SBI Clerk. We will talk about the syllabus and the analysis of previous exams. There will be another session on how to prepare for reasoning section of the SBI Clerk exam. That is a different video which will be in little more detail, but this will be a short video giving you the gist of the syllabus and a very short overview or analysis of the previous year's SBI papers. So let's get started. In the prelims exam, the reasoning section number of questions is 35, maximum marks is 50, duration of the section is 20 minutes. If you look at the mains exam of SBI Clerk, the number of questions are 50, maximum marks 60. See, you can find there is a difference here, 50 questions but 60 marks. This difference, there are some questions of 2 marks and some questions of 1 mark in the reasoning section of the mains exam. This we will discuss in detail when we come to that point in the further slides, and this section is timed at 45 minutes. When you look at the mains exam, the reasoning section has reasoning plus computers. In the mains exam, the reasoning section has reasoning plus computers. But when you look at the previous year's papers, no questions on computers have been asked in the reasoning section of the mains exam. But that doesn't mean that we will not prepare for computers. We will study our entire syllabus of computer knowledge that is there in the exam and go for the exam. Just because the questions from computers are not being asked doesn't mean that we are not going to prepare for computers. Our focus should be on reasoning as well as computers, because in case, let us say this year, out of 50 questions, you get some 5 questions on computers, you are very lucky. The questions on computers will be easy and you can answer them in very less time when compared to the time what a reasoning question would take to answer. So don't neglect your preparation of computers for the clerk mains exam. This is the broad syllabus of the prelim exam of the reasoning section. As I told you, this video is on reasoning only. So at every point I will not be mentioning that it is the reasoning section. Since this video is on reasoning, we will just discuss whatever is there without mentioning reasoning at every stage again and again. These are the topics, broad topics or broad syllabus. You get questions from these topics: puzzles, coding, decoding, syllogisms, symbols, notations, directions, blood relations, sequence, set of numbers. Whatever is not covered in this, we will put it under miscellaneous. So top 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 topics and bottom 4 topics, 8 topics. Whatever is not covered in these 8 topics, you can categorize it as miscellaneous. So couple of important points about this one. Out of all these topics, the most important topic is puzzles. Maximum number of questions are asked from puzzles. How many, what is the weightage, that we will see in the next slide, but for the time being, the number of questions are maximum from these puzzles. All the other topics, 2 to 3 questions, 3 to 4 questions, depending on the number of slots the exam is conducted. In some slots you may get coding, decoding. In some slots you may not get coding, but you may get symbols notation, etc. That also we will discuss in the next slide. Okay. So these are the topics, or you can call it as the broad syllabus. Now let's get into a little more detail about. Alright, before we go there, let's look at mains topics. Puzzles, coding, decoding, syllogisms, symbol notation, miscellaneous, directions, blood relations. These topics are exactly the same that were there in the prelim syllabus. Look at this. This is your prelim syllabus. These topics, same topics are there here for main, except that the last 2 topics, this one, sequence and set of numbers, is there in prelim, but it is not there in mains. There are 4 topics which are exclusively for mains. Copyright, mains exam. These are exclusively for mains. Generally not asked in the prelim section. So what are those topics? Data sufficiency, decision making, condition based series, input output, you can call it as machine input output, and CR stands for critical reasoning. So if we are clear about the syllabus, broad syllabus, then we can go to the analysis of the previous exams. So before we go to the next slide, let's have a look at the topics once more. These are the topics for prelims: puzzle, coding, syllogism, symbol, direction, blood relation, sequence, set of numbers. Topics which are not included in these, we will cover them, call them as miscellaneous. When you go to mains, you see the topics are the same, except that sequence and set of numbers are not there for mains. And in mains, you have 4 more topics, additional topics, which are not in prelim: data sufficiency, decision making, series, input output, and critical reasoning. Before we go into the analysis of previous paper, one important point here: the gap between the prelim and main exam will be very, very less. See, the day you get your prelim result, and the main exam, the day you get your prelim result and the date of main exam, this gap will be very less. In the recently conducted IBPSPO exam, we have seen that the IBPSPO prelim result was announced exactly 1 week before the IBPS main exam scheduled date. So within that short duration of time, it will be difficult for us to prepare for mains after we clear the prelims. So it is strongly recommended that our preparation for mains should happen along with prelims. Mains along with prelims. Now if you say that I will prepare for prelims, then I will find out whether I am clearing prelim or not, and then I will start preparation for main, that time will not be sufficient for you to prepare for the mains. So if you are preparing for prelims, let us say you are preparing a topic of puzzles for prelims, you can also simultaneously take difficult question, different models which come in mains, and prepare at the same time. Preparing for prelims and main at the same time will help you clear the prelim exam much better. You will be very comfortable with the prelim question types if your prelim and main exam preparation is being done simultaneously. Sure. Next kya hai? Alright. This is the number of questions which have appeared in SBI Clerk 21, 22 and 23 exam. The exam was conducted in multiple slots. This year the vacancies are 14,000 plus, including the backlog vacancies. It's obvious that the number of people applying and appearing will be much higher when compared to the previous year. So you can expect that this exam will be conducted in multiple slots. 8 slots, 12 slots, 16 slots, kuch bhi ho sakta hai. Number of candidates applying are more, the exam will be conducted in more number of slots. So this topic wise breakup that you can see, this is the number of questions asked in different slots. Now before we get into more discussion on this, I'll just explain what is the meaning of this range. First let us see the meaning of this range. A 0 to 5, what does it mean? Let us take coding decoding. Coding decoding 0 to 5. Iska kya matlab hai? 0 to 5 questions. In some slots, there were no question on coding decoding. In some slots, there were 5 questions on coding decoding. In those slots where there were 0 questions on coding decoding, there would have been questions on either syllogisms or symbol notation. So, in one slot, coding decoding, yes. In another slot, no coding decoding. But instead of coding decoding, they would have asked questions on symbols and notation. So, this is the meaning of range 0 to 5. 0 does not mean that no questions were asked at all. 0 means that if the exam was conducted in 12 slots, in some slots, there were 0 question and in other slots, there were 5 questions. So, the moment we say coding decoding, अगर ये लिस्ट में टॉपिक का नाम आपको दिख रहा है तो वो टॉपिक आपने प्रिपेयर करना ही है. So don't go by this 0 that is given here. I explained to you very clearly the meaning, what is the meaning of this range 0 to 5 and so on. Okay. Now, next is, we discussed in the previous slide that the most important topic is puzzles. The number of questions that are asked from puzzles is about 40 to 50% of the questions are from puzzles. 40 to 50% of the questions are from puzzles. Now, when I say 40 to 50% of questions are from puzzles, then you will be wondering why we have given here 10 to 25 questions. It would have happened in one odd slot that the number of questions on puzzles were less and questions from other topics were 3-4 questions from here, 3 to 4 questions from here, 3 to 4 questions. So, every topic there were 3 to 4 questions and hence the number of questions on puzzles came down. Now, look at these two topics, sequence and set of numbers, the last two topics. These two topics are the most scoring topics. You know, the questions when you get from these two topics, they are the most scoring because the questions are very, very easy. So, let's try and understand a little bit of that. You have two topics called sequence. One is sequence and another topic is set of numbers. You get 4 to 5 questions from any one of these topics. There is a possibility that questions can be asked from both the topics. You may get about 8 to 10 questions. If that happens, the number of questions from puzzles will come down. Okay? So, sequence, set of numbers, definite gunshot questions either from this or from this or from both. When it is asked from both, the questions on number of questions on puzzles will come down. Now, when you come to puzzles, very basic questions are asked on puzzles. limited number of models, limited number of question types, but in mains you have higher difficulty level, more models, more experiment with new models is done in mains. Experiment with old models doesn't happen in prelim. Sorry, experiment with new models doesn't happen in prelim. कोई भी अगर IBPS ने या SBI ने नया मॉडल इंक्लूड करना है एग्जाम में, so that experiment is done in the mains and very rarely done in prelims. Okay, now let us see what happens in case of these puzzles, right? The kind of questions that you get, the models that you get in puzzles are S, D, F, C. HDFC तो पता है ना क्या है? HDFC is a bank. SDFC. S is seating arrangement. S is seating arrangement. Linear, circular seating arrangement with lesser number of variables. The same set with more number of variables can be asked in the main exam. D is for distribution. D is for distributions. Months based puzzles. As an example, we can say months based puzzles. F is for floor arrangements and box arrangements. F is floor arrangement, box arrangement, and C is comparison. C is comparison. So these are the models that are expected from the puzzles topic, and these are some of the easiest topics. Sequence and set of numbers are the easier topic. As far as prelim reasoning section is concerned, you should target a score of 30 plus in this section in 20 minutes. You should target a score of 30 plus in this section in 20 minutes. Now, how to get this score? What is the order in which we need to answer the questions? How much time we have to spend on each? How to prepare? We will come out with a different, a separate video very soon. So keep watching our YouTube channel for more such videos. Is this okay? So let's go to the mains now. This is about the prelim exam, the syllabus. कितना क्वेश्चंस, कितने क्या कौन से टॉपिक्स में से कितने क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, उनका एवरेज वेटेज क्या है, और ब्रॉड सिलेबस, व्हाट आर द क्वेश्चन टाइप्स. दिस इज अबाउट द मेंस. नाउ व्हाट यू कैन सी हियर इज ऑल दिस नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस दैट वी हैव रिटन डाउन हियर. This is based on the feedback that we get from our students who appear for these exams. So they come and give us, these are the approximate numbers. They may not be the exact number. 2023 में puzzle से यहाँ 25 questions लिखा गया है out of 50. There may be 27, there may be 23 also. So, but this approximate number, the feedback that we get from students will give you an idea about the importance of the topic, how much time, which topic you have to give more importance to, and which topic you can prepare at the end. Okay, so now this is about the mains. These are the topics. The first few topics, puzzles, coding, syllogism, symbol, miscellaneous, direction, blood relations, are same as given in prelim. This I have repeated earlier number of times. These are the topics which are exclusive for the mains. These four topics which are exclusive for the mains. Alright. Now this mains, the duration here is, the number of questions are 60 and the duration is 45 minutes. If you look at mains, number of questions are 60 and duration is 45 minutes. Now you can have a look at this. The most important topic again here is puzzles. The weightage will be about 40 to 50%, and from all these other topics you have about 3-4 questions. As you can see, there are no questions on computers. Okay, so let us understand this mains section analysis in a little more detail. Your prelim exam, let us say, you have 35 questions to be completed in 20 minutes, and your main exam, you have 60 questions to be completed in 45 minutes. Here speed is of utmost importance. Speed is of utmost importance. 35 questions, 20 minutes, you have to do it fast. And there is a lot of pressure on you to score 30 plus so that you are in a top ranking in the merit order and go for the mains. But that kind of pressure will not be there in mains, because 60 questions and 45 minutes. So you should consider your mains exam as a maximizer of your score in every section. The best section to maximize your score in a mains exam is the GA section. After the GA section, the next section which you can, you can bank on this is the reasoning section to maximize your score. So the prelim exam is all about the speed which you are answering with greater accuracy, and the mains is all about maximizing your score. Even if you have to spend a little more time on a particular set of question, it is acceptable because you have all the time with you, available with you, that is 45 minutes. Okay. So this is about the mains. Now, in mains, the number of questions are 50, but the marks are 60. Okay. That means there are some questions of 2 marks and some questions of 1 mark. There is a variable marking scheme. There is a variable marking scheme in mains. Now we are talking about mains. So यहाँ mains heading डाल देते हैं. Okay. Variable marking scheme in mains. Here the section has 2 parts. Part A and Part B. The section has 2 parts, Part A and Part B. Part A has 10 questions of 2 marks and Part B has 40 questions of 1 mark. Again, this is the feedback which is given by our students that there was a variable marking scheme. It is there for the last couple of years. इस साल रह सकता है, नहीं भी रह सकता है. Be careful. Just check the pattern given in the notification. If it is the same 50-60, yes, there is a possibility of a variable marking scheme. Now, these 10 questions which are of 2 marks each, out of these, 1 question is generally on puzzle. 1 question is generally on puzzle. And the other question is either from machine input output or from coding decoding or from data sufficiency. Possible. It's not necessary that every time you will get from input output, coding decoding and data sufficiency. It's possible. But over the last few years papers, when you see, 1 question is from puzzle and the other questions are from input output, coding decoding and data sufficiency. All the other topics, here also puzzles questions will be there along with the other topics. So this is about the main section of the reasoning, the reasoning section of the mains exam of SBI Clerk. One last point before we wind up this session or close the session. In mains, we said 40 to 50% of the questions are on puzzles in mains as well as in prelim. So if we assume that if there are 25 questions on puzzles and you have 5 questions on CR is your critical reasoning, 25 and 5, 30. So 20 more questions to go. It will be better that we attempt these 20 questions first, say in 20 minutes or 25 minutes, which will have questions on coding, decoding and symbols notations will be there, blood relations, directions will be there. So attempt these 20 questions first and then you can look at doing 1 or 2 puzzles. Critical reasoning you can generally, keep it to be attempted at the end, so that if you find some time out of these 45 minutes that you're getting, these 45 minutes that you get, you find some time, you can do critical reasoning at the end. Okay. So we will come out with more video which where we will tell you how to prepare for the each and every section of the SBI Clerk exam, and there we will tell you the order in which the questions have to be answered and which questions need to be attempted first, which question can be left out. So, this is for today. Now that the notification is out and the SBI PO notification is also expected soon, you can contact your nearest time center for classroom coaching. If you want to join for a recorded video course batch or an online live batch, you can directly go to this URL, as you can see on your board. You can directly go to this URL and all the details are available there. So, all the best for this exam and all the other exams that are to come, and keep watching our YouTube channel for more such informative videos. Thank you and all the best.